All right, guys, how you doing? This is me, your host, Ian, for Evolskills. All right, today's comic book is, as you can see, X Factor number 3. Ah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna tell you how I feel about this book. I'm gonna tell you about the book. Is it worth it? If it's not, let's begin. All right. Well, when you first start off the book, it start off with a nonsensical fight because I'm not really into this book, so I don't remember book two. So they're fighting some kind of street punks, which I believe, in my humble opinion, is beneath the X-Men, especially since they have such powerhouses like Laura here, Magneto's daughter, and Scott's and Jean's daughter, which escapes me at the moment, but there's just so many of them. And what surprised me the most, I never knew Prodigy could fight. I mean, I knew he had the ability to mimic people's abilities, but well, he can dodge. Not really a fight. Oh, and if you're wondering who's this lady in front, Spiral. Doesn't look like her, but apparently it is her. This After this is what everything started to fall off for me. For some reason, Spiral was giving off like a sleazy talk show host feel to me. I mean, I know the character is supposed to be on Mojo World and everything, but it was just weird. And tell me, after they had that fight, why was X Factor striking a pose? Made no, it, it made no sense to me. This book narrative makes no sense. I know a lot of people in the comments going to disagree with me. That's fine. But my personal opinion, I don't understand the direction of this book. Uh, the only thing I know is that they're supposed to be looking for missing mutants that may or may not be dead. Fine. It's supposed to be a mystery. But the narrative of this line of books right now for these chapters, yeah, it gives the feeling of a reality TV, which Mojo's World is. That I can understand. Everything about this world is about ratings. Fine. But in small doses in the X-Men books. Or when you create something like Murder World or whatever Mojo's World equivalent is, fine. But when it's more or less like how should I put this? Real World or something like that? You know those old shows? It throws you off. But one tidbit that I didn't realize, I forgot that Eyeboy. That name is so weird. Eyeboy has X-ray vision. He was actually able to see inside Spiral's head, and she has something other than her brain in there with a company logo, which is really weird because in this panel it looked like she's has antennas sticking out of her head, like she's picking up transmissions. Who knows? But back to the mutant they were looking for. It was Sophie. I believe her mutant code name is Eris or Wind Dancer. No, Wind Dancer. That's what her name was. Apparently, she was missing, or she came to this world for some reason. They never explained what were the mutants of Krakoa doing in this world. Do they have gates that allow them to come here? There's a lot of unanswered questions. But just like a reality TV show goes on, Spyro wants to gauge his reaction to what's going to happen next. And then, then this happened. They didn't show it, which I'm very thankful for. But yeah, she shot herself, which brings up a lot of questions. Why? Just why? I have nothing other than why. But you don't have to worry too much. I don't know if they're cloning people or maybe they're just cloning husk and allowing the husk to die over and over. But Wind Dancer is just fine. The weird thing is that, oh boy, doesn't Proteus wants to remove her from these tubes, but what is his name? North Star. I was trying to figure out his real name, but let's just use the code names. North Star didn't want her to remove for some reason. Never explained why. And in the second panel, as you can see, he disappeared. I can't tell if he's moving swiftly or is that static and that's Mojo's word of teleporting people away. It's very hard to tell. One of the surprises about this book is they found another mutant. Well, if memory serves me correctly, he's from this universe anyway. Shadowstar. Shatterstar. Yeah, he seemed to be doing quite well for himself as a reality TV host. Not host. Spectac star. Wow. I'm starting to get confused myself. To his surprise, somebody shot his name after he finished eviscerating somebody or something. From the corner here in the upper left hand corner, you can see somebody there dead. Which seriously, why? This whole book. To his surprise, his old friends popped up. They was asking him questions, but let's just skip all of that and go straight to the point where Polaris asks him a very interesting question. She wants to know, can he talk freely? But instead of answering in English or whatever language that they speak in Mojo's world, he spoke Kokoan. Makes me wonder, do these people in the Mojo verse understand Kokoan, or was that a secret message he was sending Polaris? I know you guys must be thinking I'm reading too much into it. It could have just been a slip of the tongue, but nothing's really a slip of the tongue in this book. Everything has meaning. Even the most mundane stuff have meaning. But towards the end, we meet up with some mutants that we actually care about. Well, two at least. So it looks like it's some kind of girl luncheon. Oh, and I use the word girl because the first person I saw was um, Gwenpool, which I keep on forgetting she's a mutant, and she's the youngest in the group. Everybody else is grown women. You have Domino, Storm, Mystique, and Psylocke. Psylocke. Why keep calling her Psylocke? Psylocke. All sitting down, talking, drinking, having fun. Then Mojo started doing his Mojo thing and teleported weapons into their hands. And this is why I love Gwenpool, even more so than Deadpool. For one thing, you can have a conversation with her. She's not completely insane. And another thing, you can see that she looks kind of like, ah, damn it. Makes me wonder if this is going to be a crossover because she said so. But with characters like Deadpool and Gwenpool, you can't really take everything they say to heart. A lot of it is nonsense, or it might actually happen. We just don't see it. Either way, this should be interesting. The next, um, I guess next book. I was gonna say episode, but I really hate reality TV shows in comic books. Honestly, the storyline for this book was not great. But what irritated me more than the storyline and how the narrative of this book was going was the costume design. This looks pretty fine, but there's instances in the book, like for what is his name? Shadow Star? I mean Shatter Star. His design was very off-putting to me. Not because he's a bad character, but I'm trying to bring it up for you. Just look at this. It's just not quite right. At least not for an X-Men book. I'm not even talking about the effects for the background with all those lens flares. I can get over that. I've seen that in enough books that doesn't bother me as much because they don't want to draw a crowd or too details for the background. Fine. What bothers me is this anime look they have for this character and the X Factor team in general. They all have this anime look. I love anime. I love it in my manga books and manga style artwork. Fine. If this was going towards that style, state it. But I just don't like the artwork. In the end, this book, it's barely passable for me. So I gave it a 6 out of 10. It's mediocre. It's not horrible, it's not egregious, but it's not very good. Not for what the X-Men are doing right now when it comes to their stories. Not what from what I expect from the first two books from this series that grabbed my attention. This is not good. I shouldn't say not good. It's mediocre. I expected better. I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a detective noir style. I was disappointed it wasn't, but fine, they're superheroes. But no, I'm gonna drop this for now and wait to see. No, I won't drop it. I'll go one more book of X Factor. Then I'm gonna, if it's good, I'll continue. But if this run turns out to be awful, I'm gonna drop it and wait until the next volume. Because volume two doesn't seem to be all that great to me. All right. Hope you like what I've done. If so, you know, like my page, man. That's right, I said page. But on a serious note, like, follow, and share, all right? Help me grow this channel to something beautiful and upgrade. By following me, I'll be able to upgrade, do other things, and take requests as well. What books you want me to review next? All right, good night, good day, see ya.